Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the barters that are going to be coming next wipe for Mechanic from the supply and demand event. There's something a little interesting going on with them, so we're going to hop right into it in just a second, but I need you to do me a favor. Make sure you're slapping the like button, and of course, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the content here. Tweet on screen first, and then we will hop over to the image itself so we can take a closer look at these weapons. So, the results of the Escape from Tarkov in-game events supply and demand are now available. In the next wipe, the following weapon builds will appear at Mechanic's Loyalty Level 3 and 4. Number 1 is the M4A1, number 2 is the MDR 308, and then number 3 is the MCX chambered in 300 Blackout. So, image on screen, full screen for you. A couple things about what I'm seeing here. Now, the supply and demand event was only for PvP. I'm going to be honest with you. These do not really look like PvP guns to me. In my opinion, this is not PvP worthy builds, especially for the MDR. I think anytime I have seen somebody using an MDR, there has always been a scope on it no matter what. Now, don't get me wrong. EOTechs are absolutely amazing, in my opinion. The best reflex sight in the game, at least the number 0 one. But, I don't really think these are the three weapons that were probably used the most. By whatever guy had the most kills racked up, I do not think these were the three that were the weapons specifically, the specific blueprints that were made. So what I'm thinking is it was the most popular weapons, but the 300 Blackout MCX being in here makes absolutely no sense to me. So if these are the specific builds that were used, we need to just start here. Who is using this? What in the CQB MCX is this? Now, I will say, I am kind of excited to get that skeletonized grip in our hands, a little bit cheaper. I think right now in PvE, it's like 400 to 500,000 rubles. But other than that, who is using this weapon? Who used this to get it to number 3? I just don't see it. I do not see somebody using the MCX over the spear. The fact the spear is not on this list is incredible to me, because these are PvP weapon builds that are being displayed. PvP was what was counted for this event. So not seeing a spear on here is insane to me. The MDR makes sense. The M4 makes sense because it's one of the most popular weapons in the world. So when it comes to the MCX, it's an outlier. I don't know why it's here, and I do not believe this is the third most used weapon for this global event, and especially this build. So I feel like we were kind of lied to. I don't think any of these builds were actual official builds made by players that were used, quote unquote favorite weapons. I think BSG took the weapons themselves and then made kits and put a couple things on here that we'd like. So when it comes to the M4, I can't remember the exact name of this grip. I think it's the Express, but I could be wrong on that. This is one of the better grips in the game, so exciting to see that. Can't tell if this is a CTR or a Mo stock, but, we have a scope on here. It looks like a Razor to me, but I could be wrong. But, I don't see this build happening, man. I just don't see you not running a laser at all. Nowhere on this M4. It just doesn't make sense to me. And this MDR, it's just like, I'm sorry, man. This is not a build that I think is very common. The only thing that I'm excited about here is getting the 25 rounder. That's it. So, I'm honestly a little disappointed by this, but there are some great attachments on all three of them. I'm definitely happy to get these grips. I'm definitely happy to get the skeletonized pistol grip and the 25 rounders. But the next thing is, what are these going to cost? They're going to be from Mechanic. We got handed 15 Bitcoin here in PvE and obviously PvP, but PvP players will lose all that stuff here in a week or two. So for PvE players, I'm going into these three barters right here expecting to pay Bitcoins, and I would expect to pay 1, 2, and 3. Now, the fact that the M4 is first is kind of crazy. I would expect to pay 1 Bitcoin for the MCX, which probably would be worth it considering you get the skeletonized there. You take the skeletonized off, and they could just put a regular pistol grip on, use the weapon or sell the weapon, do whatever you want. You're probably going to be break even if Bitcoin is still down in price. The M4, this is something that's probably viable to use, at least in PvE. If you want to just strip the grip off and you want to replace it, swap it out, I think you have a decent little build here to put in a good amount of work. And the MDR, it's nice to have one on standby. You already got a 25-round magazine in there. Throw a scope on it, and you're pretty much good to go. MDR going to cost 2 Bitcoin. M4 going to cost 3. I think that's a little overpriced. I think MDR and the M4 being 2 Bitcoin, MCX being 1. MCX available at loyalty level 3. The other 2 available at loyalty level 4. I think that's just what makes the most sense. But with such a high barter price, I don't think anybody's going to do it. So it's just a really tough call all around. I think one additional thing they should do if they are going to make the barter expensive is give them a 5% chance to spawn in Kiba. We see that with the spear. You have that very rare chance to get a spear to spawn in there. I think if you would have these 3 builds in Kiba as well, it would add an interesting little dynamic to it, especially for the PvP players. For PvE players, we already deal with enough BS on interchange with 40 plus scavs every raid. So I just wanted to bring this to you. These are the 3 weapons we're going to be getting the entirety of the next wipe at loyalty level 3 and 4 for Mechanic. I just kind of got rubbed the wrong way a little bit that these aren't most likely, I don't have any proof, but these most likely are not the exact builds that actually took first, second, and third place. So I don't know, just kind of weird, but I welcome more barters, and of course there's going to be a 5% permanent discount next wipe on Mechanic, so that'll be pretty cool as well. Do me a favor, make sure you drop it a like, and of course make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.